Today I continue your Afrikaans education with the very important word fok. Fok is indeed a much more nuanced word than many might think. Fok is the word for a foresail of a ship. You can see in the picture the reddish pink sail. That is a fok. And the plural of that is fokke, which in English would be foresails. Of course, then there's also the fokmas, which is the foremast, and that is what the fok is attached to. And then, of course, you need something to attach the fok to the fokmas, and that would be the fokstag, which is a forestay in English, and that is simply the wire or the cable on a sailboat that supports the mast from the front. Now, an old use for the word fok as verb is to mean breeding with animals. It does give that definition in the Afrikaans dictionary, but it also mentions that it is an old use and out of date. We do in fact not use that anymore. We now use the word deel. So we deal with animals. We do not fok with animals anymore. So when you referred to a breeding practice in the olden days, it would have been a fokkerij. And then you would have the fokhunks, which is the breeding stallion, or a fokskaap, which was the breeding sheep. That then brings us to the meaning that most people know these days, which is sex. Now, the way we use it in Afrikaans is in many ways borrowed from the English. But if you look at the old meaning, where it meant breeding, then you can see how we came to our own conclusion and how we eventually ended up using the word fok to mean sex, just as you do in English. So, of course, the Afrikaans fok is the English fuck. As an exclamation, you can simply say fok when you stub your toe. Of course, you can also go for the very popular fok it. And then there are ach fok and oefok. In English, you have fuck off. In Afrikaans, you have fok off, which is just a little bit more round in pronunciation. According to the WAT, which is the woordeboek van die Afrikaanse taal, you can spell that word either fok off with 1 K or fok off with 2 Ks. Now, I prefer fok off with 1 K because according to the English one, which is fuck off, it just makes more sense to just go fok off without 2 Ks, but the choice apparently is all yours. That then brings us to I don't give a fuck, which is ek gee nie 'n fok om nie. But we also have another one. That is a fok fool, which is also don't give a fuck. A fok fool, literally translated or directly translated, means a fuck feel or feel a fuck, right? So a fok fool. And the way you would use that is ek voel 'n fok, which means I don't give a fuck. If you don't want to go for the vulgar fok, you can also go for veer. Ek voel 'n veer of ek voel 'n vaal veer, which literally and directly translated, the first one means I feel a feather. And the second one means I feel a pale feather. That's directly translated, right? But the meaning, of course, is I don't care at all. So, ek voel 'n vaal veer or ek voel 'n veer. Another thing to note is that in Afrikaans, we combine many words with fok to form special fok verbs. One of those is rond. So we form rondfok, which is also fok rond, 2 separate words if you write it the other way around. And that means to fuck around. Hy fok rond, which means he sleeps around, he fucks around. Moenie my rondfok nie. Don't mess me around. So that's the other use, is messing somebody around. That brings us to the next very popular opfok, or fok op. And that basically means to mess someone or something up. So used in the context of messing someone up or making a mess of something or a situation. Hy gaan jou opfok. He's going to mess you up or he's going to beat you up. Ek het opgefok. I messed up. And then we have the noun fok op, which basically means a mess or a fuck up. Die hele situasie is 'n fok op. The whole situation is a fuck up or a mess. The adjective fokol, again according to the WAT, it can be spelled both with 1K and with 2Ks. I prefer using 1K. It just feels better, makes more sense to me. And it means, as an adjective, absolutely nothing. Ek voel fokol. I feel absolutely nothing. Fok weet or die fok weet means fuck knows. Another noun, fokker, which is fucker. Jou fokker, you fucker. Then you can combine it with the Afrikaans question words. Here are some of the examples. Wat de fok, hoe de fok, wie de fok, which means what the fuck, how the fuck, and who the fuck. For not a fuck, you want to go nie 'n fok nie. Ek gee nie 'n fok om nie. I don't give a fuck. Another descriptive word, befok. Befok, and its first meaning is furious. Ek is so befok. I am so furious. The second meaning of befok is insane. Is jy befok? Are you insane? Jy is befok in jou kop. The meaning, you are insane or you are crazy. The literal direct translation is you are fucked in the head. As an adjective, and the English fucking, the Afrikaans word is fokken. Fuck dit. Fuck that. Another awesome word is the Afrikaans word voortfok or fok voort. That means just fuck on. Just continue on. There is a saying in Afrikaans that we use when you want to say you have to continue on despite everything that you're struggling with, in spite of the hardships, you just have to continue moving forward. Then you say, kyk noord en fok voort, which literally translated means look north and fuck on. And then we also insert fok and fokken in words. So we'll say ongefuckenlooflik, which you also do in English, and that is unfucking believable. Now we do this with quite a few words. Of course, there are quite a few other words that you combine with fok in Afrikaans, like omfok, oorfok, affok, and more. So, to all of my Afrikaans-speaking friends out there, if you want to add to the fok discussion in the comment section, please feel free. Things I've forgotten or haven't mentioned, please mention it and let's educate people together.